starting with the Barcelona Dragons.
Trying to set up now and goes back the other way. Touchdown, Barcelona. Wilman again, who's got a big hole ahead of him and he's in. Touchdown, Barcelona.
This is the point tacked on by Angoy. Jack Bicknell and the Barcelona Dragons are champions of the World League.
Molt bones a tots i totes, Sackers, com esteu? Benvinguts en aquest especial que fem avui de Dragons a Sac, que tenim un programa molt especial, ho hem gestionat una mica així a últim moment i sobre la bocina, així fent quasi un Hail Mary a últim moment, però avui ja nosaltres tindrem el linebacker titular dels Barcelona Dragons, el Myke Tavarres. I saludem als companys que estem aquí avui per fer aquesta entrevista. Tenim el Sergi Artés. Bona nit, Sergi, què tal?
Bona nit, molt content per poder portar aquest jugador i a veure què tal és l'entrevista.
I també tenim a l'Arnau, recent incorporat. Una tarda mogudeta, Arnau, esperem que estigui tot bé i benvingut a l'entrevista.
Sí, una tarda, porta un dia a tope, però al final no volia faltar en aquesta cita, així que no podia ser d'una altra manera, aquí estem.
I com sempre és de costum i fem aquest tipus d'entrevistes durant la nit, estem esperant el bo de Myke, que com sempre surten d'entrenar els jugadors, que és normal amb la calor que fa a Reus, que entrenin cap al tard. Si algú no ens ha seguit des del principi s'ha connectat més tard, que quan comenci l'entrevista ara mateix en directe la realitzarem en anglès, òbviament per temes de comunicació, però que quan es pengi en diferit l'entrevista a YouTube tindreu l'oportunitat i la possibilitat de posar tant subtítols en català com en castellà com en altres multituds de llengües per poder seguir l'entrevista que farem amb en Myke. Això l'avisem perquè ho tingueu en compte.
D'acord, doncs si us sembla, llancem coordineta i el fem entrar.
Vinga, va.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined, so y'all can sit here and ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer, so y'all can shoot if y'all please. I'm here so I won't get fined.
NFL a sac.
So, go ahead,
Welcome,
Sergi.
Myke. We're very happy for you to be here with us. We're very ecstatic and we're waiting for you. First and foremost, how are you physically, mentally after the first win of the season against the Berlin Thunder?
Well, first off, I want to say I'm sorry for being late to the video chat, you guys. I mean, it's been a long day post practice, just trying to get everything taken care of. But I feel good, man. I felt really good about last week's win. We did what I said we'd do all season. We finally came together as a team. Offense found this identity. The defense stood out. We got some sacks, we got some interceptions, and we were scoring on defense. Man, we're playing Dragon football, man. So it felt real good to do it as a team.
Yeah, you were flying around as a team in defense, especially, and it was a really good team win last week. I don't know if my mates have any questions.
Oh yeah, we see you having your first sack of the season, at least at the Elf. How that feel to get the quarterback in your hands again?
I didn't hear any of that. It was super laggy on my end.
Oh, I said that you had your first sack in the Elf again. And how did... So go ahead, you, Sergi.
Well, he was asking you, how did it feel to sack a quarterback again, because you had your first sack last week, and how did it feel to do it again?
So, can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can. Whoever talks, it's super laggy, deep, monotone voice, but it's very slow motion voice.
Awesome. So the internet connection.
Wait. Can you hear us now, Myke?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Go ahead, Arnau.
Okay.
There we go.
You? Okay. You had your first sack in the elf. So how
do it
the
again. I can't hear you.
Crec que només vaig ser la tua, Max, Sergi.
Sí, digue-li tu, Sergi.
Okay, so can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
No.
It's kind of jumping in and out, but I can hear you.
No se sent gaire.
Bon, pregunta-li.
So I think I can. When you're talking, I can hear you. I can't hear anyone else.
Okay, so my mate Arnau was asking that you had your first sack this past week in the elf. So how did it feel to get a sack again and to help the team, especially rushing the passer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it felt good to get a sack. I was a little bit disappointed in myself that it took so long. I pride myself in being able to make a big impact plays within a game. So I was a little bit disappointed that it took that long, but still to be able to make a sack when I did, and help us get off the field, man, it felt great. It felt fantastic finally get a sack, but now I'm hungry and I want another one, and I want another one, and I want another one, man.
But on the other hand, you lead the team in tackles. So we had the statistics this week. So how do you feel playing? Or how do you feel most comfortable playing as a linebacker or as a edge rusher? What's your favorite position on defense?
I definitely love being an edge rusher because it allows me to put a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. But I feel most comfortable playing linebacker because it allows me to do a little bit of both. Blitz from the middle, drop in coverage. Playing against tight ends and dropping into cover 3. It allows me just a little bit more versatility. At the same time, I can go sideline to sideline. I can make more plays, help the team out better. From the middle of the field than I can from on the line.
So going back a little bit in time, when did you first hear about the Elf and the Barcelona Dragons? How did things went a little bit?
It's actually a funny story. So I was actually in Germany prior to moving to Spain, and I was actually playing for the Cardinals at GFL 2. And a couple of my teammates, a few other Americans, my friend Q, he's a safety out there. He was actually the first one to tell me about the and he was just like basically telling me how the Dragons had an All-American coaching staff and that they were going to be this good team. And I had no idea this was a new conference or new league at all, because I was still trying to figure out things in Germany. And so it was actually kind of happenstance that one of the coaches, Marcel, we actually went to the same junior college back in the States. And so he was the one who actually reached out to me and said, hey, we've got an opportunity, a position available open for you. If this is what you want to do, man, he said the competition is going to be good and actually it's going to get you where you want to be. So, how about it? After a conversation with management and defensive coordinator, things kind of worked out. And 2 weeks later, I was in Barcelona, Spain.
Voleu provar de parlar? O?
Say again?
You're mute now.
So you can hear me now?
No.
No. So go ahead, you, Sergi.
Okay. So after arriving in Spain, right now that you've been here for like 3 or 4 months, how do you feel about the level of competition? Especially the Spanish teammates and everything, and about the league. How do you feel about the level of competition of the league?
What I really like about the league is, you got guys who are big, strong, and fast. This reminds me of a college level competition. I want to say I'm not going to say it's up there with the SEC, and I will say as far as the size, yes, you guys got some SEC size talent, but it's definitely Division I college football as far as the talent. Now the guys on my team, as far as the Spanish guys, with us, we're extremely young. We are so young,
Yes.
mentally and also physically. We got some kids on the team who are just turned 19, and they've got so much more life to experience, so much more knowledge of the game to learn. But at the same time, I think that also works us out for us in our favor, down the road. Because we got kids who are playing 30-year-olds who's twice their size. But a year down the road, 2 years down the road, these kids, they're going to be ready and they're going to compete with the best of them.
So right now we have a question straight from the chat. Our mate asks us if you're ready to play against Madro London next Saturday, because obviously, in the first game in Cologne, you were injured, so you weren't able to play the game. Are you looking forward to playing against him?
Oh, dude, it's the only game I can think of. It's nothing else matters. It's the one game I missed, and it's so far been one of his biggest games. And I have absolutely all the respect for him. He's great at what he does. He's a great running back. But if I'm in that game, he doesn't rush for 350 yards. And I can guarantee that. So I'm absolutely looking forward to this matchup.
So how do you feel about the game? This Saturday, obviously, you go in Hamburg. That they are undefeated still. So how do you feel about this game? And you've been working really hard and this past week, and your emotions and your motivation should be really high after your first win. How do you feel about this game against the Sea Devils?
I'm excited. The beautiful thing about the situation we're in is we've got nothing to lose. We've got a small taste of victory. We know what it's like to win one game, playing offense, defense, and special teams as one unit. And we were able to do that. They're bapping backs against the wall when you think about it, because they have to win.
Yes.
Because then they go down, we just lost to the worst team in the ELF, which, that's fine. That's what they got to deal with us, come Saturday. As long as we go out there and play our football, Dragon football, we're going to like the end of that score.
What can you tell us about the new players? Obviously, last week we saw Lautaro Freixa play linebacker, and he played really, really well. And obviously, this week we had new players coming by. How do you see them? How do you feel about them? About the new players that are coming and helping the team?
Yeah. Well, first, I just want to say Lau came in and immediately took to the team. It was like he fit like a glove. Like, he stepped in, he was able to learn plays, pick up the package and everything we were doing. And not only that, he was able to make an impact, an extremely big impact in the game. And that's what I look for. You can step in practice and, hey, do a good job in practice. I can care less. Show me what you can do in the game. When the lights are on, when the camera is on, can you still perform at that high level? We got a couple new guys that are coming in this week. They look decent in practice. I don't care about practice. I want to see how you perform in the game. Once they perform in the game and I know what they're going to bring to the team and how they can be an addition to this defense, then I'll be able to tell you.
Obviously, we have to ask this. How do you feel about the fans in Reus? Obviously, you have a great relationship with them. You know how to motivate them. We saw you stopping by at the power party and taking pictures, playing with fans. How do you feel with the fans here in Spain?
Well, we've got the best fans in ELF. We have hands down the best fans, man. And that's why I make it a point, as part of my ritual, I've got certain things that I have to do before I step on the field. And one of those is take 10, 15 minutes out of my day to say hello to the fans. I'll take pictures, I'll sign autographs, throw on the football, we'll play a couple games, because, without the fans, we wouldn't have a game. It's fans come to cheer us on. Like, I'm a big believer in the fans. Like, we play the game for the fans. And so I love the fans. Once again, hey, we have the best fans, hands down. And I love the fans.
So if we go back a little bit before, obviously you played college football, you play at Arkansas and another, played JUCO. Then you go undrafted into the NFL. You go to the training camp in the Philadelphia Eagles. What can you tell about, this experience, and how important was it for you to, to become the man, the player that you are now?
Man, the NFL was such a humbling experience, man, because it makes you really work to see how much you want. And I think the funniest thing is that you hear a lot of guys say about camp, especially in the NFL, camp in the NFL will make you realize whether you love or hate football, because it's an everyday, all-day grind. You wake up at 6 a.m. and you're in the facility until 9 p.m. Then you're going to go home, you eat a little bit of food, then you study for at least another 2 hours. You got to on how to hit the playbook to make sure you know plays, and you're doing this for 4 weeks straight, every single day, and it's wear and tear on you. It's a big mental thing, man. But once you're able to push through and make it to the end, man, you see, hey, you made it to the light that was at the end of the tunnel, man. And hey, if you're one of those lucky few that make it to the 53-man roster, you get to live another day and play another week, man. And so football was so humbling for me, and it allowed me to learn so much more about the game, because at that level in the NFL, every single guy out there is just as big, fast, and strong as you, But what makes you stand out is guys like Luke Kuechly, who studied the game. It's about the smallest details now, In the NFL, it's an inch. You can lose by an inch just by stepping in the wrong direction. You either made that tackle or you missed that tackle within an inch. It's the little things in the NFL.
So talking about the NFL, a little bit personal question for you. Which was your idol growing up, or, which player really made you love the game?
Man, honestly, like, my favorite player growing up is actually, I have two. Brett Favre. I mean, I'm a big Packers guy, so Brett Favre was my guy.
Yes, man.
And then after that, it was Williams. Ricky Williams was my favorite player, but not for anything he did on the field. I loved Ricky for who he was off the field. He had his issues and things he dealt with, but he was just such a kind and gentle and caring guy. And I actually got the chance to meet him, hold his Heisman Trophy, and it's actually funny. He actually became the coach at my alma mater, University of Incarnate Word. So the first time I actually got the chance to meet him, man, he's such a cool dude. Like, it's crazy how, like, just down to earth that guy is.
He was such a good player. He's a legend, obviously, even from college football.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you how do you compare? Is there any comparisons to any linebacker right now from the NFL and you?
So say it one more time.
So do you think that you can compare, like, yourself to another linebacker in the NFL right now? Which player has the more similarities to you?
Right now, man, honestly, like, I would compare myself, to a Ray Lewis kind of thing. It's, I'm going to lead the team, but I'm going to lead, full on front. It's like, I'm going to show you guys the way, but it starts in practice, and I have a little bit of way of my words, and like, I think me and Ray have that in common, that, it's, we want to rally the team, we want to inspire the team, and that of course helps us play better. At the same time, Ray Lewis that's downhill, hard-nosed, smash mouth guy, He's going to hit you with everything he's got, but he plays sideline to sideline from start to finish. And I definitely think I like to model my game in that same fashion, that whether we're up 10 points or down 10 points, as long as there's still time on the clock, man, I'm going to get everything I got until that final whistle blows.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things about the Barcelona Dragons. You play like every minute, every second of the game as it was its last, and I think the fans really appreciate it. From you. I think we really feel like, okay, this is our team, and they're playing really hard. We have to keep cheering for them, and I think, man, you play us with the same energy as Ray Lewis. I mean, I have seen some games about him, and you play with the same energy as him. So yesterday, we were talking with Lucas Macero, the defensive back, and he told us that within the locker room they call you Miguelito. I don't know if you can tell the story about how do you
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, so I was in like, gosh, the third or fourth grade, and my teacher is basically he's like just my English teacher, and he was like, and I was like really small at the time, and he was like, yes, you're Mike, you're Miguel, you're a Miguelito, and I think it's like some candy or something, or just something I can't even remember like exactly what it is, but that's kind of how that started. Like you're Mike, but you're small Mike. You're Miguelito, and he started calling me Miguelito. And so when I came to Spain, I don't know so much Spanish. Mi España es muy terrible. My Spanish is bad. It's terrible. But but yeah, it's one of the guys that they're like, hey, so like, yo, we know you're Mike. Yo, would say it's como te llamas? What's your name? And whenever they say como te llamas, what is your name? I say it's Miguelito, and they all laugh. They all start dying. But they accepted it, so they all call me Miguelito, and I'm like, hey, it's part of the fun,
So talking a little bit about Spain, what's the thing that surprised you the most about Barcelona or Reus, here in Spain? Because in some things you might feel like a little culture difference between here and the States. So what's the thing that surprised you the most?
Honestly. The one thing that just surprised me the most is, how close we were to the beach. I understood like coming to Spain, they were going to speak Spanish. Another thing that actually really did surprise me was there's different variations of Spanish. There's like Spanish and there's Catalan. I think that's how you say it.
That's another language.
It's complete different language. I got a couple of friends, from Barcelona. It's like, yeah, we speak Spanish. I was like, no, but we speak Catalan. I was like,
what?
There's a difference, and then in between, well, yes, it's you say this and this means this over here, it means that, and so I think that was the biggest, eye opener for me. That, yeah, man, it's just like there's different, of course, dialects of Spanish. I think that was the biggest thing for me. And I said before, the beach, man, I had no idea we were gonna be that close to the beach, man. And I'm like, I love being near the water, and so just be able to hit the beach every day it's a blessing, man.
I don't know if my mates have another question for you, or guys.
Yeah, you talked about the 7 things you do before a game day. Can you talk about those 7
things? I can hear the questions. You're gonna have to relay it to him so you can speak it.
Okay, so my mate says that you talked about you have like 7 rituals before a game. Can you tell a little bit about them?
Yeah, man. So one of my biggest rituals before the game, I'll put my headphones in, I'll listen to some like calming music, like relaxing music. I'll do a lap around the stadium, so I'll walk the entire stretch of the sidelines. And then I like to stop on the 1-yard line, be right before the goal line. I'll take a knee, grab some grass, fill it in my palms, fill it between my fingertips, because I know we're at the point where it's time to make a goal line stand. I've been familiar with it. I've been here before. I walk to the center stadium, tap the middle of the grass, kiss it, and I'll walk off. Then I'll go in the locker room, I'll change, I'll come out, say hello to the fans, take pictures, sign autographs, and then I'll put on my workout gear, go out to the field, and I'll do about a 15, 30-minute warm-up so I can get a nice, thorough stretch and a sweat before I go out, go with the team, speak with the team, and then we go play ball.
So, we were talking about with Sergi before the interview. What would be your soundtrack before a game? Like, for example,
Yeah.
we really like for example, J. Cole or something like it, or you're like more like chilly music.
Yeah. It's I guess I give a couple songs I play. So I would play like a J. Cole, like Love Yours. I play a little bit of Kendrick Lamar right before, and then like as I'm doing my warm up, I'll go. Let's go. What do I listen to? Maybe like Roy Jones Jr. Can't Be Touched. Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares, and then I'll go DMX, Lord Give Me a Sign, and I'll just start amping it up and just getting more amped. And I'm like, yo, once I get to game time, the crazier, the louder, and the wilder my music gets. Because football it's a war game. It's the closest as you can get to going into war. And so I like to have the calm before the storm, so I can calm my mind, know my assignments, know what the task is that I'm going to do beforehand. I'm going to visualize the game. Then the closer we get to the game, it's time to ramp it up. It's time to turn that switch on, that dog mentality, and get there and get ready to go to battle.
That's good to know. I mean, that's part of your personality too. We were talking about a little bit because we didn't know what kind of music do you like or do you play before a game. So it's really nice. Going back a little bit to the game, what can you tell us about the new defensive coordinator that came this week? Is it the defense gonna change much, or is it gonna be the same? How do you feel about it?
So first, Coach Wood is amazing. He's such a down to earth guy. He came in not really expecting or even to take a job, but he stepped in full swing. He's like, hey, look, we are all on the same page. We got a couple of small nuances that we're going to do in the game. I'm not going to share too much. You guys are going to have to find out exactly what we do, when the lights turn on, man. But going to like it. The fans are going to like what we're doing. It's still Dragon Ball. Like I said, 1 or 2 things have changed, man, but it's us flying the ball, 11 guys to the ball, man, that's still going to be definitely how we play the game, and the same tenacity that we had before. Coach Wood has done a great job stepping in and getting us all in the right formation, make sure we're all on the same page. So, yeah, Saturday's going to be fun.
How do you feel? Yeah.
No, I was saying, ask him about his experience about other coaching staff with this coaching staff.
Yeah, so my mate asked, what is your experience with obviously this experienced coaching staff with other coaching staffs that you had in your past in college or your teams? Because we talked a little bit with some Spanish players, and they are all, man, these coaches are helping us a lot. What can you tell about them, about Coach Rita, about all the coaching staff?
See, for me, because I've been playing football for a long time, and each coach comes with something different. They want to teach a different philosophy, a different style, a different defense. And for me, I just come in eager to learn. I'm one of the older guys, I'm one of the vets on the team, but there's always still that something these coaches can teach me. And so I'm sitting here soaking up like a sponge. I come with my notepads every single day to take notes and see what I can learn. And it's been a great experience for them stepping in and just showing us a different way. It's the first time I've ever played in a 4-3 stack than to a 3-3 stack. So like I said, it's a new experience, new defense, different role, because most times if I do play, it'll be outside backer or standing up in the end. So now to step in the middle of the box and play, which I'm a little more comfortable with. It's been amazing, but like I said, to get to know these coaches and learn as much as I can from them as far as the defensive standpoint. And yeah, like I said, it's been a lot of fun.
Out of curiosity, do you call the plays when you're playing middle linebacker?
Sometimes, yes and no. The coach will go ahead and give us the plays from the sideline, and then will them for the most part. I do have a couple options to check out, or like if I see something that I'm like, hey, like let's run this. I'll go ahead and make a couple checks. But the thing about the defense, as long as we're on the same page and we all know what we're gonna do, that's all that really matters. And even if we're all wrong, we're all right as long as we're all on the same page, So.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, so here we have a question from the chat. During the game, we have seen you always with a bottle. What drink is in there? Can you tell us about it, or
Yeah,
it's just secret?
No, it's water, man. Like most times, it's water or Powerade, and then like there's a couple times where it might have like electrolytes in it just to keep us hydrated. But most time it's water, man. Like I'd be so tired coming off the field. I'm just like, yo, just hand me some water. The first thing I want to do is get a sip of water and sit down. But yeah, most times it's just water.
So another question from the chat: did you ever think to play as a running back?
Do I ever think I'll get the chance to play running back?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a secret. I can't tell you. I can't tell you guys that one. It might happen. It might not happen. We'll see.
Okay. What about this one? Do you think the fans help you to distract the offense? So obviously we have a very noisy fans in Wales. Do you think that it helps the defense have noisy fans in the stadium?
Oh yeah. Oh definitely, because it's like in Seattle, and with the Seattle Seahawks, man, you've got the 12th man, right? When that stadium gets loud, the offense, they can't hear the snap count. They can't hear the checks, and so sometimes it throws them off just slightly. When our fans get loud and yell, I know it definitely throws them off. It definitely throws them off.
Guys, any other question? Arnau?
Recommend Max Richard as weapon. I'm going to check it out.
Questions?
Hey, I'll check it out, man. Hey, I'm always open to new music. So, hey, if you want to send me a playlist, please give me some good music, man.
Okay, I think we can figure it out, and we can send you something. Arnau, any questions? You're mute.
Sure. Sorry. Ask him if he is in a future, he's seeing him as a coach.
So yeah, my mate asked if in the future you see yourself as a coach, or you haven't thought about what happens after football.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's actually I was coaching. Once I decided to stop playing football, I coached. Like immediately, I coached at alma mater. The year after that, I coached semi-pro, and actually this past season, I coached high school football with the Loyola Warriors back in the States. So man, I love the game of football, and the biggest thing about football is you take all that you learn and you pass it on to the next generation. Because football is so much like life. It teaches you how to win and be humble, and also how to hold your head when you lose in defeat. At the same time, it teaches you, how to work with people from different backgrounds, different cultures. It also teaches you how to work with people that you don't like, and so football is one of the closest games that you can get to understanding this game of life. And so, once I'm done playing ball, man, I definitely plan on coaching that's probably until I retire.
One question is, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned from football?
So what is the biggest lesson that you've learned from football?
The biggest lesson I've learned from football.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, man, because there's so many lessons. I mean, I've every major lesson I've learned about life, I've learned from the game of football. But I guess the biggest one is the harder you work, the luckier you get, right? And so I know there's so many guys who want to go to college, who want to go to the NFL. There's so many guys out there that's talented, and there's hundreds of thousands of guys that are all trying to play in your same exact position, right? To get to the NFL is 0.01% to get there. But I absolutely know for a fact the reason why I made it to the NFL, the reason why I've made it this far in my career is because I outworked every single person I've come against, right? See, they tend to see what you do, you know, in the lights on the stadium, right? But no one sees the closed door. They don't see the hours of film that I watch. They don't see the days that I go to the gym by myself. They don't see when I stretch in the morning. They don't see the days that I don't go out and drink and party with my friends because I'm at home, you know, watching more film, in bed early. They don't see all the things I've missed and the sacrifice that I'm willing to sacrifice to be a better player so I can work that much harder. You know, even just this today, you know, like my friends are, hey, we're going to go get this fit. I was like, well, I can't. I mean, Sunday's my cheat day. I have to make these sacrifices, you know? And when you're willing to make these sacrifices to work your butt off, man, that's when you get lucky. And that's how you ultimately achieve your goals and achieve the things you want to do. That's ultimately how you get that success.
Yeah, that's a life lesson. I mean, absolutely. So what can you tell us about, you know, obviously we are in mid-season now. What are your expectations for, you know, the rest of the season? Obviously, it's 5 games left, so everything is still open. What are your expectations personally and as a team?
Personally, my expectation is to win every single game for the rest of the season, and then go to playoffs and show these guys that, hey, the Barcelona Dragons are for real. That's my personal expectation, and that's my team expectation.
Okay. Also, what can you tell us? You know, obviously, before the bye week, after the bye week, the Dragons as a team, you look like really motivated, and you started playing as a unit. How do you feel the bye week helped you as a team?
The bye week was great because it kind of gave us all a chance to decompress, you know, because most of these guys, actually really a lot of these guys have already played in the previous season beforehand.
Yeah.
Then they come to Barcelona and now they're playing another season. And then we didn't get off to the start that we wanted to. And so that's a lot of wear and tear. But once you get some time to go, like, to kind of decompress and go away, I was in Italy for the week, and every single day, all I think about is getting back to Spain and getting to work because I wanted to win. I want to be the best teammate. I just want to be the best linebacker. I want to be the best defense in this league. And every single day, that's all I can think about is getting ready to work. And the good thing about us is every single week we get better. Every single week we get stronger. And the league started to take that for notice because, hey, we got better last week. We're definitely going to get this much better this weekend. And, hey, we're going to shock the world. We're going to let them know that we're coming.
I think that's a good state of mind also because, you know, as you said, we have a very young team. So, you know, this goal of getting better every single week and, you know, start competing against, you know, other teams that, you know, they've been playing together for, you know, more time. I think that's really good. And we can tell as fans, you know, from the outside that every single week the team is better and, you know, it's getting better. So, you know, any questions, guys?
Yes, that's a kind of personal question. I saw in your social networks that you also are a track and field coach. So what you can tell us about this?
Yeah, so Arnau tells me that he saw you in your social networks that you have a track and field coach. You know, he's a track and field athlete. So what can you tell about this?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, so Arnau, my mate, saw that in your social networks that you have a track and field coach.
He is.
Oh, you are? Are you a track and field coach?
Say again?
Are you a track and field coach?
Oh, yes. I coach track and field. Yes.
Yeah, because Arnau here, my mate, he's a track and field athlete. So, you know, you might be training together for some time in the future. You don't know.
Yeah. Hey, what events do you run, or what events do you do?
110 hurdles.
110 hurdles.
The 100-meter hurdles?
Yeah.
Hey, that was my best event. Hey, we can do that together. Come on, let's go.
Connection. Yeah. Dragons connection here. Sergi,
Yeah.
any other questions? Arnau?
I'm good.
Okay, so before finishing the interview, first of all, thank you very much for being here. We love your enthusiasm, your energy that you bring on the football field, off the football field, and we appreciate it as football fans, as the Barcelona Dragons fans. And we're really excited about the next 5 games. I think that you guys are gonna shock the league for sure. And thank you very much for being here again.
It was my pleasure, man. Hey, thank you guys for having me.
Okay, take care, Mike. Thank you very much. Bueno, i fins aquí.
NFL a sac.
Bueno, nois, fins aquí l'entrevista a Mike. No sé si ha sigut una mica llarga, ha sigut, com sempre, què seria nosaltres, Dragons sense tenir problemes tècnics i concentrem sobre la marxa, però bueno, esperem que hagueu disfrutat d'aquesta entrevista.
Ens hem portat una miqueta els problemes tècnics del podcast oficial
Sí.
a Dragons a sac, però bueno, l'important és que hem pogut dur a terme l'entrevista. Jo crec que ha estat suficientment fluida com per entendre's, així que hagueu pogut conèixer més del nostre amic Miguelito. Així que jo crec que ha estat una molt bona experiència.
Sí, bueno, és una entrevista que jo volia fer i, bueno, llàstima els problemes tècnics, però problemes del directe i jo crec que a la gent li agradarà i espero que tothom l'hagi disfrutat i hagi pogut connectar encara més amb el gran jugador i persona que és.
Demano perdó d'anticipat pel meu anglès una mica xapuzero a moments. Però bé. I bueno, moltes gràcies, nois, per estar aquí avui, per fer una excepció un altre dijous després de l'entrevista d'Adrià Botella de fer aquesta entrevista amb Myke Tavarres. I bé, tots els que m'han escoltat i ens estiguin seguint o ens escoltin en diferit o ens veguin en diferit a YouTube, moltes gràcies per seguir amb nosaltres. Recordeu que us podeu subscriure a Twitch si teniu Amazon Prime de manera gratis i així ens ajudeu una mica a seguir endavant en aquest projecte tan ambiciós que ja toquem totes les branques del futbol americà possibles per tocar pràcticament. Fem NFL, fem Dragons, fem college. Ens podeu seguir a les xarxes socials per més informació. I res, moltes gràcies, nois. Arnau, Sergi, per estar aquí un dia més. I ens veiem dilluns que ve amb el proper programa de Dragons a sac.
Això mateix. Fins la pròxima i Go Dragons.
Bona nit i Go Dragons. I Go Miguelito.
Dragons a sac, el podcast que parla dels dragons per la millor de les aficions. Segueix-nos a Twitter a @dragonsasac i no et deixis els nostres germans de NFL a sac, els trobaràs a @NFL a sac.